That's it, little guy. Follow me. Slowly but surely, she lured the robed little figure out of that isolated tower. Bit by bit, first with a pebble tossed against the shutters of that high window, then against the front door, she left a little trail of pebbles for him to follow. Each glittered with a hint of power to entice him. It was a bit overkill, she thought, given humans' natural curiosity. Bouncing little pebbles from nowhere was more than enough to get one of the little things to follow. No, the iridescent force twinkling within each pebble was to keep the robed human in the mindset of magic. She knew that was his thing from the way his little tower pulsed with the stuff. A mage like this was one of endless interest to her, and getting one alone to play with was a delight. And so, she led the tiny mage through the forest. He kept stopping to pick up each pebble like one of the little white birds other humans tended to keep. It was cute. Soon, he had his little hands full, and still she led him on with more. She couldn't help but giggle at the sight of him trundling along. Then, he did something unexpected. He stopped, even with another pair of pebbles clattering to the ground in front of him. She frowned slightly, more curious than annoyed, and leaned closer to the image in her scrying bowl as the bearded wizard looked around. That, apparently, seemed enough for the wizened little man to notice something of her presence. He looked right up, right into her eyes. Or no. He had pinpointed the viewport of the scry, is all. She giggled to herself once more, and dropped yet another little pebble into the water. It made the surface ripple with a splash, and down it fell, to hit him right on the head. She could hear his cursing, so far away, and it was entirely too funny watching him dance about with his hands on his head, and the pebbles they once held scattered and forgotten. After a moment, he stopped. He stole a quick look up at her viewport, and she leaned in again. His teeth were showing. Moving quicker than she thought he could manage, he bent and grabbed one of those scattered pebbles. A flash of delightfully complicated spell matrices wrapped the rock in a tight bundle, and then he hucked it right back at her. Her forehead stung, right between the eyebrows, and the pebble he'd thrown clattered on her table. She blinked, utterly nonplussed at the little man's retaliation. And then she laughed.